Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here, and welcome back to another Transformers Earth Wars stream on a Wednesday. Where, yes, we are going to be talking today about the history of Transformers Earth Wars and looking back. And I'll be honest with you, looking back myself, even I was like, wow, I can't believe how far this game has come, how long it's been around, and how much has changed over the time. It's incredible, it really is. And there's things that I couldn't believe has been around that long. I had to double check. I was thinking, has that really been around for 3 years? Really? Yeah, time has flown by. So yeah, we'll be looking at the newsletter as always. We're looking at that, and then looking back at some past newsletters and events that happened in the game that either led to something big or was big at the time, and how the game's progressed, and looking at a bit of my old content, other people, other YouTubers that I took things from, and other YouTubers that I watched back in the day, and things like that. And yeah, I'm looking at some of the old streams from the apes as well, and laughing at how much they've changed. Yeah. Okay, so let's see who we've got in the chat. So we've got Jason Rowley, who was first. Welcome to the stream. We've got Grind Time as well. Welcome. Just gonna turn this volume down a second. Hey Grind Time, how's it going? First one to like the vid. I like it. Stuck in beta as well. Just want to give a big shout out to Rego Vidalo, who has just subscribed to the channel. So a big shout out to you. Thank you. We've got Stuck in Beta as well. We've got the Joker, Matt Poley, William Wilkinson, a lot of regular to the stream. We've got Hot Rod 591, who, unless it's someone else that's logged in another account, seems to be someone new to the stream. So welcome, bud, welcome. We've also got Alan Shulamanji, is that right? But yeah, welcome to the stream as well, brother. Grand Galvatron as well, one of our moderators. Thank you for joining in. Nick Lang Yates. We've got the Crusher 11, who's a monster in our Discord. We've got Godzilla Fan 298. And the song is actually Transformers Earth. No, the Transformers G1 theme tune. Yeah, if you didn't know, Hot Rod's got it right. Yeah. We've also got Sharksy, one of our moderators. Thanks for posting the link. The Arrow DJ Hart. Eddie Lee. We've got Matt Geeson, Megabomb02. We've got Cor Vanik, I think he's new to the stream as well. Welcome. Who else have we got? And Autobot Phil as well. Welcome everyone to the stream. So, like I said, we're going to look at the newsletter first, but I've got a bit of a surprise when we get this next screen up. So you can see there we've got the newsletter, but we've also got some screenshots, some old things that we used to have, and things that I'm not sure if that's a China thing or something weird, but that's some old screenshots from the game from back in the day. So when you leveled up, that was the screen that you got. You see there, 5 cybercoins. Wow. The defense upgrades, that's also what they look like. You can see that the walls were different. I think they were pre-production. Obviously, they've changed. That was the level up screen. You can see that the aesthetics are a lot better nowadays. That is crazy poor, but yeah, they changed it a lot. You can see that as well. The walls have changed again. Pre-production, everything was very different, and they've changed a lot of values. And I think they made the walls very. They made the walls very boring. I can't think of a word for it. Originally, and then they obviously progressed them over time to look better and better. I think they didn't want the earlier walls from HQ4 looking really good, and then maybe going backwards from there. But yeah, you can see that there's a lot changed. Those are early HQs, and the walls are totally different. Stuck in beta. No, it's not from the newsletter. This is literally just what I've searched for online. Some old screenshots of old upgrades and some old like from. Oof, you're talking 2016. So these images, you can see there that that was the victory screen when you won a battle. That was where you got all your resources and things like that. It showed you the bots you used. So yeah, I'm not too sure about them quantum crystals. I think it shows Shanix. If that's the case, then that's a. Was it Cybercoins? Maybe it is. I'm not too sure. Like I said, it's been a long time since I played HQ4, HQ6. Like I said, that was early 2016. You're talking 5 years ago. So yeah, you'll also see a bit of a strange screenshot, and that was I'll point to it when it comes up, and that was how wars were designed. You had people defending your base, you had people attacking, and then you had people that you could sit out. So say you had a friend who had joined your alliance who was not high level, you could sit him out of the war, so to speak. He didn't have to attack or defend. So it was good for helping lower players, but it was very technical. You can see it there. So you got like stronghold, and you had like a defense and offense, and there was lots of roles, and it was a bit confusing. And they just simplified the whole war thing to make it easier. But yeah, like I said, a lot has changed. This was when we were beta testers back in the day, before the game was actually released. This is talking January to March 2016, I think. So yeah, a long, long, long time ago. Long time ago. But you can have a look at them screenshots while we're talking about the newsletter. It's just something to sort of have a gander at. And yes, let's go through the newsletter. So this week's newsletter is called Hunter Becomes Hunted. It's a pretty easy event. It's an individual event. We've got XP items. We've got a gold power core. We've got alloy and energon. 50,000 of each spark, which is pretty decent. 10k prems, 3,000 3-star shards, and 1,000 4-star shards. It's important as well that you realise and you keep those prizes in mind when we're talking about old events. We'll be comparing rewards, and it's crazy how those have changed as well over time. But we're talking again. Yes, it's only triple XP, so as I say normally, that don't spend on triple XP, guys. Take the weekend off, so to speak. Not take it off, but chill out, take it easy. We've got a big Omega Supreme event coming. I'd advise everyone to just hit as hard as you can with that. And don't worry about this event. Personally, I'm just going to hit 10k over the first 2 days, take the third day off, and just relax, just chill out. That's the idea. Normal battle points and the resources are just sort of shared out throughout the 10k. So yeah, pretty good. We've got some total spark crystals that are optional at the end, and they contain the normal spark, combative spark, and combat spark. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter. If you're not, I would like to say I've got a link somewhere, but I don't know. But where would you? I'm sure someone in the chat will know where to sign up for the newsletter. I think you can sign up for it in game. I think there's a link to press, and you can sign up for it. But yeah, make sure that you do sign up for it to get the monthly May gift, which is Silver XP Core, 5k Prem Shards, and 10k of each of the Sparks. Hey, for signing up for a newsletter, why not? Why not? You get rewards every single month, and they're okay, they're not bad, but for simply just sign up for a newsletter, they're pretty decent, aren't they? Then we've got the new combat bots. So for those that aren't into the Transformers lore, though these guys were huge in terms of headmasters. Aimless, was he Galvatron's gun or Trigger? No, no. Slugslingers. Aimless was Slugslingers. Spoil Spore was Chrome Domes. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. That's a bit of a guess, that. But yeah, I think Aimless was Slugslingers, and I think Spoil Spore was Chrome Domes. Yeah, I'm wrong. Aimless was Scourge. See, everyone's getting it. Everyone doesn't know. Aimless was with Misfire. I may be wrong. I don't know. Like I said. I could be wrong. Yeah. Spoil Sport was a sure shot. You are right. So yeah, there you go. I'm sure someone was going to correct me in the chat. But yeah. Yeah, pretty cool combats though. And, quite big in terms of lore. We've had a few that I got and I was like, hey, I've never heard of these guys. They're good bots, but I've never heard of them. So hopefully we can do these guys justice and, and make them pretty good. If they if it goes along with Aimless's bio, what is in the cartoon, then just be just random shooting all over the place. But hey, we'll see. Then we've got community content where we've got Skywalk Grey has gone through the Decepticon New Joiner bundle and pulled it. And then we've obviously got myself in there as well for the history of Transformers Earthworld, which you're watching right now. Cool. Okay. So I have literally gone through not every single newsletter, but I've sort of thought to myself, right, looked at my videos and gone through and thought, right, let's look at some of the old newsletters and some of the stuff that, I remember being big in the game. And the earliest newsletter I've got is November 2016. Now, obviously, the game was out about 6 months before that. I'd like to show some screenshots, hence why I've put the screenshots at the top. But that's the earliest we can get to. And the first one we've got to is Superion and Devastator. So, yes, they came to the game in November 2016. These guys are 4.5 years old now, these bots. And yes, they got a buff quite recently. But yeah, it's crazy to think they've been 4.5 years since we got the first combiners in the game. You can see there that it is double XP. Now, when they say double XP, they're talking less than what you get now for resource raids. So you're talking, because what happened was the XP was raised a lot in events, and then the playtesters asked for more XP in the normal battles. So double XP was ridiculously low. And you've got to remember as well that back in this day here, there was no Lagoons, there was no, power leveling in zone 14, 13. It was like zone 9 because it was that early on. You're talking, very early on. So yeah, double XP. And yes, you get a 4-star crystal, but if you look here, the 3-star shards, you get 500, 800, 1,190. 1,190 3-star shards. So if you compare that to the 3,000 that we're getting today, then, that is crazy. And I just want to give a shout out as well to Jack, who works at Transformers Earthworlds. I couldn't believe that he was sending these newsletters out back then. And if you're not in Discord, you probably won't know who Jack is. And even if you're in there, you might not know who he is. Just give me a sec, guys. 1 second. Apologies. Yeah, so you might not know who Jack is. And Jack is basically the person that looks after VIP. He looks after all the content creators, all the playtesters, and anything you need. He's the guy that we go to. So, I want to give a shout out to Jack as well, because he's a really good guy. And we talk a lot in between him and the playtesters, and between him and, well, most of the content creators, really. So, yeah, he's basically, when you get a code off me, Jack's the guy that gives them the codes. So, yeah. Thank Jack for getting your codes. And then again, back to November 2016. And then I just wanted to show, so this is actually a 4-star shard event. And we actually get 350 4-star shards in events. 350. So think about that. The fact that we get, 1,000 4-star shards in events now, we actually only get 350 now. Which is, crazy. Crazy. 1 second, guys. I need to sort my dog out. 1 sec. We're back. Apologies. Yeah, so 350 shards, which is, absolutely incredible compared to nowadays. I don't mean incredible in a good way. It's ridiculous that it's 350 shards. So, yeah, so much better now. And then this is important as well, because people don't remember this, that we had Pipes and Off-Road who came in the same event. And they both had totally different events. Back in the day, when bots and cons came out, they didn't have the same abilities. They had different abilities all the time. And it comes to a point where Autobots and Decepticons were arguing because 1 week or 1 month the Autobot ability will be better than the cons. And the cons will be like, this isn't fair because they've got a better ability. That's really good ability. Ours is rubbish. And then vice versa. The cons are get a really good ability. We're like, well, why have they got that ability and we haven't? That's not fair. And the apes just decided to just unify it, and then every single event, the bot and the cons get the same ability. And that was the reason for it. And I kind of agree, really. It wasn't fair. Can you imagine the cons having Goldfire right now and the Autobots not having him, or vice versa? It's not fair. So we unified it, or the apes unified it, I should say. We weren't involved in playtesting back then. Yeah, and the apes unified it, which was the best idea they could have had, to be honest with you. And then on to Monster Within. Oh yes, and this was the introduction of Star Saber, which was huge for the game, and it was incredible because we didn't have many Transformers or bots with high cost, high damage abilities. And I remember this. I didn't really do leaderboards, and then as soon as I saw this bot, I thought I've got to go for the leaderboard for this. I've got to get this bot, and it's one of the first leaderboards I actually did. And yeah, absolutely incredible. And then soon after that was Perceptor, and he was so poor that I quit. I quit leaderboards. I was like, I ain't doing leaderboards ever again after this, because it was an absolute. I think it was like 40, 30k each. Doesn't sound a lot, but when you're battling in Zone 9, 30k were crazy. 30k points in Zone 9 is like doing 70k right now, and and remember, XP was a lot less back then as well. So bots were taking forever to get to level 50. What it's like now to get to level 60, it was like that to get to level 50. It was absolutely, if you got to level 50, it was an incredible achievement. So, these bots were incredible at the time, and like go for bots, and they lasted the test of time. I mean, they fell away a bit now, but these bots were absolutely incredible when they came out. And yeah, it's literally been the last year where they fell away. So you're talking 4 years. They're in the metaphor, which is ridiculous if you think about it. And then we fast forward on to Feeding Frenzy, and this is the introduction of Gnaw. And I think it's one of the first, I could be wrong, but I think it's one of the first chance events that we saw, and Gnaw was the first one. Yeah, I think we saw Sharkticon boost as well come to the game, and it was pretty cool. It was also the first sort of sights we saw of Cup and Dead End, and the first introduction of Hunger as well. I don't know why they're in the same one. They're not in the same bot. But hey, but yeah, we saw the introduction. Engineer Hoist corrected me. RC was the first. I think maybe Noah was the first one I actually competed in. Maybe I didn't bother with RC. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to have chance events in the game. And then we have Target Locked. It was the introduction of factions around this time as well. So that was one of the first times we saw a faction where you could actually get the other, the other faction as well, which is pretty cool. I wanted to show these events as well, that you can see here that the rewards are ridiculously poor. I mean, this was the totalizer. This was the leaderboard totalizer. This was it. 60,000 points. That was it. Nothing else. And this was the leaderboard prizes. This is it. Look. So 4-star, 3-star, 3-star, and 5 prems, 10 prems, 5 prems. That was it. Think about how much leaderboards have changed from this. It's so poor. It's ridiculous. And I don't think people realize how lucky they are in modern day events compared to how it was. And when I say that new players are so privileged to have Lagoons to level with, and it's never been so easy, it's true, because you didn't get 4-star shards back then. You couldn't get decent XP. You couldn't get anything in events. It was so poor. And this was a leaderboard that broke me, because we literally slogged it out in this leaderboard, Perceptor, and it's one of the worst spots in the game. It really was. And I think this is where they continue with. Maybe that's the reason where they had bots with different ability at the time. And again, it carried on where, Autobots and Decepticons were just at loggers because they wanted them uniformed. And then in 2017 March, we saw the first sights of Beast Wars characters. Love them or hate them, you know, they made a big impact to the game and started, you know, the ideas of maybe crossovers and things like that. And, you know, was a big addition to the game. And then fast forward to August 2017, so fast forward 5 months. And then we have got another 4-star event, and then it went up to about 500 4-star shards for events. It went up to 500. I know it went up to it went up to 500, and this is what's happened over time. You'll see this that events increased slowly but surely, and prizes increased slowly but surely. We didn't have the extra tiers. It literally was 10k. You were done for the weekend. That was it. No more event. It's only later on where we had the extra tiers for people that wanted to. Then next up we have Not So Fast, which was the introduction of Cheeto. And Cheeto, when he came out, was awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, appalling. And he was buffed soon afterwards. I mean, I pulled him as a 5-star and was quite disappointed when I got him. You can't tell by the video. I'm literally going, yay! But inside, I'm like, no! But, yeah, he was buffed soon afterwards, which was incredible. But I wanted to show us as well that 2-star shards was a prize. You can see that they're pretty high up as well. You know, when we get 600, 1,100, 1,500 2-star shards. I mean, come on. It's quite poor, isn't it, really? Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest with each other. It's quite poor. 2-star shards. That's how far this game has come. It's ridiculous. And then in September 2017, we saw the introduction of Predaking and Volcanicus. And this was huge for the game because it was probably the first real AoE combiner that we saw. And everyone went mental about this because you know, we didn't get, we didn't have, well, Volcanicus was not a thing really, not in Transformers lore, and it was the first one where, you know, we actually saw these combiners, and it was a big thing because we had, you know, Superion and Defensor and all these combiners were in G1, but these weren't. It was just cool to have a Dinobot combiner. Really cool. So yeah, they were introduced to the game. And then the next step, we've got. Obviously, I may have missed a few here and there. I can't go through every single newsletter, which is the ones I thought of. And it was introducing the first triple changer. This caused quite a stir as well. The fact of triple changes, but you can tell because the first triple changes, Springer and Astral Train, they didn't combine their abilities, and I've always said they should, but never did. And I think was it Skylinks came before Sandstorm, and they were the first to actually combine their abilities. So yeah, and you can see here that this was a gift that they gave out back then, and basically it was 10 prems. That's all you got. That was it, 10 prems. So it's a lot better nowadays in terms of you know, rewards and things like that. And then going on, we got Stargazer's event, and I think this was one of the first ever 5-star events. It could have been the first, or if not the first, one of the first. And yeah, XP started to increase as well. And then you can see here that, you know, there's no 5-star shards in the event prizes. It's only chance crystals, and you're looking at around 700 to 800 5-star shards for a 5-star event. Comparing again to nowadays, you're looking at about 1,300 nowadays. So that's increased a lot, and this was November 2017. So yeah, still going back about, you know, 3.5 years ago, for a 360k event though. So, you know, in comparison, 360k for 800 shards. Ooh, yeah, you know, that's still half decent, but having 2-star shards in the event was appalling. And then next on from that, we finally got HQ16. HQ16 was introduced in March 2018. I just want to give a big shout out to Low Spade who has donated to the channel. So a big thank you for donating. Like I said, anyone donates $20 to the stream, don't forget, guys, you get access to my VIP in my Discord. And if you're not in my Discord yet, there'll be a couple of links posted during the stream. Make sure you join, guys. Just for you know, just for some good information in there. There's videos in there, and we post the newsletter in there. Anything that's come from the other Discord, the actual official Discord's in there. Good place to hang out and chat about anything. So yeah, come and join Discord, guys. And thanks if you have donated. Thanks to Low Spade. And don't forget, if you have donated $20, that gets you into the VIP section, and the mods will pick it up. Cool. Thanks. So yeah, HQ16, and it brought out a whole new color scheme, which was crazy because it had all like little red bits in it, and just like it's like whoa, and purple for Sexcons, and just looked really cool. We added power cores on a HQ for the first time, and yeah, 3-star level cap increase, 28 ability points. And the cap increased to 35 as well. Thanks to Steve for donating $2 as well. Some dollars for FCs to get the event price of dialogue. It means prize, I think, but yeah, thanks. More All-13, where you could increase your harvest and storage. And yeah, you can see there's a lot of upgrades for all the buildings. Yeah, a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. The introduction of the Cybertron League as well, that got introduced. So, yeah, there was a lot of things coming for HQ16. It was a big thing for the game. Huge for the game. And then we had Victorian and Minosaur. And these are a big deal as well because, it was the first female combiner that very few people had actually heard of. And, was crazy powerful, crazy good when they came out, and hugely desired. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't even hear of half the bots. And it's quite funny that Engineer Hoist is in the stream, because I was going to mention this, that I was chasing Dust Up forever. Could not get her. And Engineer Hoist was chasing Rust Dust. And I think that's the first time where me and Engineer Hoist sort of touched base on something, because obviously I watched Engineer Hoist before that, and and liked his streams and tuned in where I could. And then it just came apparent that I was starting to do videos around here and then, and I could not get Dust Up, and he couldn't get Rust Dust. And I would go in his stream and saying, "Listen, I'm chasing Dust Up. I could not get him." And yeah, we sort of started talking about it, in streams, that how we just couldn't get this one bot to get Victoria. And I think I actually got Dust Up first. I could be wrong. I got hit her in the anniversary event a good couple months afterwards, after the combiner came out. One of the first combiners that I didn't have on release, and yeah, I chased Dust Up like mad, and then didn't get her, and then ended up getting her an anniversary crystal, which was crazy. Yeah, I think I might have got Dust Up first, because I think I was like sort of rubbing it in a bit. I'm not gonna lie, thinking yes, I've got it. Engineer Hoist ain't. That's something that sticks in my mind, that I remember thinking yes, I've got her, and Engineer Hoist hasn't. But yeah, she was a very cool combiner at the time. Yes, and Engineer Hoist has mentioned as well that we're copying 5-star bots as well. It was bizarre that our accounts were sort of aligned like that. That we both had exactly the same 5-star polls for the first, I think, first 5 or 6 polls, and then I went to batch 6 and just went mad on batch 6, and then it sort of changed from there, I think. But yeah. Next, we've got Motley Crew, and this is coming slightly towards modern day now. This is May 2018, and this is where we're sort of seeing the game starting to change a bit more. So this was the introduction of tracks for the first time in the game, and tracks made a huge difference in the game. I actually think that tracks was nerfed. I can't remember exactly. It was the introduction of Prem Shard as well, and we got rid of 2-star shard, which is a huge bonus in the game. 2-star shards were awful. Who wants 2-star bots? I mean, come on. So yeah, we changed them into premium shards, which is pretty cool. War rewards were also increased as well. They increased Allied Energon and Spark. Yeah, and then you got premium crystal shards as well. These got increased again at a later date as well. It doesn't say here exactly what they did. I can probably look in the next newsletter, which will, I think it will show maybe tracks and cutthroat. It's showing the two 5-star batches, obviously. Um, we'll try and find what tracks and cutthroat started off as. I can't remember. I'd like to say 70% reduction, but that was quickly changed and it caused quite a stir because, um, yeah, it caused a huge stir because it's just overpowered. It was. But it should never come out that way. This is way before playtesting. I don't want to go through all the newsletters, but it's way before playtesting, and it should have been corrected pre-production really. But it was crazy, absolutely crazy. Um, and then we fast forward to when was this? September 2018, and this was the introduction of raids. We saw an introduction of raids to the game, and this was the sort of start of playtesting. This was the start of it. They wanted people to test the new Alliance raids, and I'll be honest with you, I had a huge argument with Space. This is probably the first argument I've had with them. I've had a few over time. I'm not gonna lie. I do get on my soapbox quite a bit when I don't like something in game, and I don't mean I get. Well, yes, yeah, sometimes it is something to do with me, but a lot of times it's things that I see wrong in the game. But I remember before Raid Battle, a good few months earlier, I think it was before even tracks. I can't remember what it was. And then I said to them, why do we not have people playtesting the game before it comes out to stop this happening? I think it was a really poor bot. I think so when I was a content creator early days, I just said, we need some playtesters. And then when tracks come out, it was massively overpowered. It got nerfed, and again, I just said, this is bad for the community. It's making people quit the game because they pulled this bot and leveled it, and then we're nerfing it. We should have playtesters, and these playtesters will tell you if it's broken or not. And we'll say that's too powerful, that's not right, that needs improving. And then they brought out Alliance Raid battles and didn't invite me to be a playtester. And I'm not gonna lie, I lost it. I was like, wow, I've been banging on for the last 6 months about getting playtesters in, and it's something that you obviously know that I want to do and I feel passionate about, and you ain't even including me. And then, yeah, I got an invite soon afterwards. But yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. From what I was told, I was already getting an invite, but I was one of the last to get an invite, and I'd already started on my rant. So yeah, oops. But yeah, it was the introduction of raids and the introduction of playtesters. And then the Legacy 6, I think it was 5-star bots came out. Could be wrong. But I think it was Legacy. Was it Legacy 5 or 6? One of the two. But yeah, introduction of raids was a big one. The next one we've got is Coronation Day. Oh, just want to add as well, I missed something there as well. Raid to Cybertron was the introduction of XP cores as well, which obviously is huge for the game, and also Universal Combiner Spark. I mean, who remembers the days where you had to get Superior Combiner Spark, Defensor Combiner Spark, Volcanicus? It was crazy. You couldn't get the right spark for the right combiner, and when they combined it all, you had a crazy amount, crazy. Because you say you had 50k of each, and it weren't enough to upgrade one combiner. All of a sudden, you had 250k something. Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, it was again a huge a huge step forward for the game to have Universal Combiner Spark. Huge. Then we have Coronation Day, and then this was January 2019. And we started seeing the introduction of final thrust crystals, the extra tiers, because the playtesters said, we need something to go on after the short event, something that's optional. And I think we wanted shards or something, but they said no, let's just put some spark in there. So it's not a huge, thing that people really, really want, but it's something for those that want to play a bit extra. And that was a good addition to the game as well, especially for the top guys. But yeah, I think it was the first event where we actually saw 5-star shards in the totalizers and 5-star shards in the crystals as well. So that was pretty cool that we had more of an opportunity to get more 5-star shards. Yeah, it's only 5 at a time. You can see there, look, 5, 10 per prestige. It was 60 prestiges, so you got 60 times 600 5-star shards from this, and then you had the chance to maybe get an extra, I don't know, maybe an extra 500 from this, maybe. And this was the introduction where we started seeing real 5-star events, I think, of decent, decent rewards. Um, Unlikely Alliance. This was the introduction of sort of Shanix and the Shanix store, and from raids, and yeah, it was it was a cool thing to have in the game, Shanix, and I think it's made a lot of, you know, it's not been revolutionary, I wouldn't say, but Shanix have had a big use in the game in terms of, getting Monkey Prime and things like that, and yeah, Shanix was huge for the game. Introduction of Cybertron characters as well. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of this, but I suppose we've got hack characters and things like that that help out. But yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see more. I actually predicted that we'd see more of them, but we never did. Then we've got Sharp Edges, and this was the introduction of defense cores, squad cores, and actually introduction of prime cores as well, I believe. I'm sure it says prime cores somewhere. I could be wrong, but yeah. No, prime cores is way before that, surely. I think I misread that. I think I missed it out. But yeah, I think when did prime cores come? Where was that? I think I missed that one. However. Oh, Prime Cores is February 2018. I did miss it. Apologies. So February 2018, Prime Cores came to the game, not 2019. Then we've got Prime Time, which was the introduction of the shield generator, which I think was huge. This was when people were cup and backdooring attacks, things like that, and they brought the shield generator out to sort of try and help that a bit and try and stop people from rushing the HQ and things like that. It was a good addition to the game, and I think it made a huge impact in the game to stop people doing certain attacks. And after a lot of playtesters complained about backdoor attacks and the inability to defend against it, I think it's really important that that was brought to the game. And then the big one. This was at the time quite big. It was the introduction of Golden Lagoons. Now, Golden Lagoons, when they were introduced, were used on defense. People put them in outposts and would arrange top wars, and it was almost impossible to beat them. But then the apes realized people doing this, and then very quickly nerfed them on defense, but kept the offense, stats there. And it's only until this year. I mean, this came out in July 2019, so pretty much 2 years ago. But it's only until last year that people realized that we can, use these to lagoon bases, and it was absolutely incredible. It really was. Yeah, they've totally revolutionized the game. I mean, like this, if they imagine people going to use them like this, then that's crazy. But I don't think they actually envisioned the way we were going to use them. I think they made them for one thing, and then they just took on a life of their own. And I think it's really important that we consider this. That this is why the apes are a bit reluctant to bring certain things to the game and certain abilities and do certain things, because once you bring something out, you are giving it to a whole player base to decide how to use it. Now, the playtesters will use it certain ways, and there might be 20 or 30 playtesters, but they might not think about a certain way of using something. And all of a sudden, once something catches on, it spreads like like wildfire, and all of a sudden, then you've got something in the game that can't be fixed, something that breaks the game. And you've got to be really careful then. Do you nerf it? Do you bring out a counter? How quickly do you react? Will it break the economy? If it breaks the economy, the game could easily close down within a matter of months. that is literally how important these decisions are, and I can't stress that enough. That I could say right now that I mean, well, I'm gonna start talking to Hyro in the next few weeks about getting Hyro in the game, and he's the guy that controls the economy basically. And I'll be honest with you, he's a bit of an unsung hero because he gives with one hand and takes with the other, and people don't, realize how hard a job he's got to really balance the game to a point where, people are not taking advantage of certain things, and and that certain resources aren't too available. And yeah, I've seen many a game shut down because the economy's broken in some way. And it is incredible that games lasted this long, because games like this don't last this long. They really don't. So they've done really well to balance the economy. And yes, things are kept rare for a reason, and things need to be rare. And I keep saying that, and I get that maybe lower down players don't understand why I say that. And this is the reason that I would rather have things rare and things hard to achieve and have a game to play than have everything easy and the game shut down in 6 months. And that is honestly the reality of it. I've talked in the past about Transformers Legends. That game shut down because it come to a point where people didn't need to spend, because they had enough resources to do everything free to play as long as you grinded enough. Because there's no money coming in, the game shut down. Then there was Battle Tactics that came out, and you didn't need to spend a lot really to be one of the top players in the game. And then that game shut down. You know, and I've seen so many Transformers Rising that shut down as well. I've seen so many Transformers games shut down. I've seen so many other games shut down. Even PlayStation games as such that have shut down because of problems with the economy. I think there was a game, I wouldn't like to say what it is because I could be wrong. I think it was Fallout maybe. And basically they brought this really rare item out, and someone worked out a way to copy it. So he copied it and started giving it out to friends and started selling them to people and things like that. And then they'd get it and they'd copy it. And all of a sudden, this really, really rare item became so popular in the game that everyone had it, that people would then use that to buy other things, and it caused a trade imbalance. That there's a lot of trade in that game, I believe, that you trade things. That's how you go through the game, that you trade something. And because of the huge imbalance, basically everything became worthless in the game. A bit like in the Second World War, where money was, you know, £1 million for a loaf of bread in Germany, because of the economy balance, and that happens in games. And it's so important to get the economy right, and I can't stress that enough. And it's just a little thing like this, introducing the Golden Lagoon, took on a life of its own, and it's made us now be able to get XP so much easier. And I don't think the apes envision this, and that's why now people are crying out for the game to get more difficult, because they've got so many maxed out bots. When we saw the level 65 cap, no, everyone was like, wait, I'm not going to see a max bot in a long time. Now you can get a max bot from zero. Well, can get a bot from 0 to 65 in one day if you're willing to spend. It can easily be done with the Golden Lagoon, because you can literally attack the highest levels of the game and get ridiculous amounts of XP. And I can see there that Ethics thinks there should be trading in Transformers Earth Wars. It never will be. I will tell you right now, it never will. Because of the way the game's designed, it's designed that certain things should be rare and certain things that should be obtainable in only certain ways. It's a gotcha system, and it will never have trading, ever. The nearest we got was crystals, and I'll tell you a little story that I've told in the past. There was you could gift crystals. So what we would do is, if it was your birthday, everyone would buy crystals and gift you some. So you'd probably have 50 crystals, 100 crystals to open on your birthday, just as a nice thing to do for your friends. But then what someone worked out was that what you could do is you could open a brand new account. So you'd have your account here, you'd have your account, and you'd have a brand new account. So you will buy crystals on this brand new account. You would send them, gift them to your main account, and then with this account, you would refund it and close it down. This account has got 30 crystals and not paid a penny for it because this account paid for it and got a refund. Gone. Then they'd open another account. Then they would buy 50 crystals. And you see what's happening again. They buy 50 crystals. They send it to this account. This guy's got 50. Close this account down. This guy's got another 50. And then the apes can't close this account down because they got a refund. And so what if they close a HQ1 down? This guy was getting all the crystals though. And I think this guy was actually a content creator at the time. Not high level, but a content creator. And they actually closed his account for doing it. And he did a rant video. I'd love to find that. I was talking about it on NJ Hoyt's video. And he had a massive rant about it. And I remember thinking, it's your own fault. You know, you can't do an exploit like that, getting refunds and passing them to another account. And his argument was that he's found a glitch in the game. It's not his fault. You know, it's the ape's problem. And I kind of get that, but you really are cheating the system. Very clever, like ethics has put, and that's why that gifting went away, and hence why we won't have anything like that in the game again. So yeah, and then obviously look, we've obviously got our own engineer Hoist with his video of the worst outpost bots in the game. So remember, go and check that out as well. I see engineer Hoist, but I don't remember that. Do you think is that you don't remember doing that video? I hope you remember doing your own video. And next we've got oh, wrong one, we missed one. Hang on a minute. We've got the operative, and this was the introduction of G metals. This was September 2019. So this is what, less than 2 years ago, where we started getting G metals, and this was a big improvement to defense, especially. Yes, it increased offense, but it was a massive upgrade to defense. And you'll see that what happens is we have a massive increase in offense, then defense, then offense, then defense, and so on. And we're seeing huge increases to offense at the minute, and I can't help but feel like there's going to be a big defense upgrade coming in the next 6 to 9 months. Whether that's HQ 18, whether it's some different power cores, I don't know what it is. But yeah, I can imagine that there's something big coming to the game eventually. We also seen the combiner beacon come to the game as well, which was a huge thing coming to the game. This is in China for quite a while, and a lot of people were asking for this, saying it's in China, let's let's get it to global. And it didn't come for a long, long, long time. And when it finally did, it was absolutely amazing having combiners on defense. And I think the playtesters begged for this. I'll be honest with you, begged for it. So yeah, it was really, really cool to see. Cool. Then what came after that? Um, After that, we've got Barren Lands, and this was one of the first community events. I'm not sure if it was the first, but it was good to see these sort of community events where people could spend Spark, and you would get rewards based on that. And it was a little cool thing for the community. I think we need to see some more of these. They've gone away from this, and I think we need to see it a bit more. And then we have Big Gang Theory, and I think this was the first 5-star batch that was balanced by the playtesters. It was the introduction of Red Alert and Run Amok, but these are the first bots that we balanced as a 5-star. We didn't balance batch 5, is it 5? I think. But yeah, I think that we missed the trick with these. I think we didn't really push the boundaries with these. It was one of the first ones we did, so we just buffed them a bit, and we're like, yeah, they're all right. Yeah, let's keep them as they are. I think the only one we buffed really was Scavenger, I think. But we also looked at some other improvements. We said to them, "Oh, can we improve some other ones?" So this was the Windblade and Dive Bomb buff that we saw, which again was pushed by the playtesters that we really wanted to see. Wheeljack and Shockwave, the grenade was increased because we said that his grenade was really poor. Sludge and Straxus had a ability cost reduction, which made him a lot more viable and a lot more used. And the Hot Rod Nemesis Prime 5-star lasted a lot longer, which again we sort of pushed through. And then the next one we've got is Barrel Roll, and this is the first time we saw Strafe last year. This was January 2020, and it was the first sort of glimpse that Computron was coming in the game. I think before this, everyone was saying, Computron's got to be coming to the game soon, surely. He's the only real G1 combiner we haven't got yet. And then yeah, Strafe came out and everyone just went mental, thinking, "Yep, Comptron's coming to the game." They couldn't keep it secret anymore. We knew this, we knew it. Um, but yeah, Strafe and Thrust. Next, so obviously coming a lot sooner now, and then we've got Warp in Time, and this was Blade and Dirge where they got a buff. This was where the playtesters were talking about old bots, and we said that we need to have them improved. Um, Punch and Counter Punch got a buff as well, which we totally forgot about this, to be honest with you, and they didn't get buffed enough. I'll be honest with you, but yeah. Then next, Vigilante. And in this event, we saw the two greatest bots in Transformers Earth Wars ever, Nose Cone and Drillhorn. No, not really. We saw the introduction of HQ-17, and again, this is a huge upgrade. It's 18 months since we saw the last headquarters increase, and was a huge deal. I mean, there was a lot of new additions. We had upgrades to buildings. We had extra beam lasers, an extra missile launcher, which were the defenses in the game at the time. We had an extra research slot, which you could open with Zen. Zed Energon was introduced to the game, along with level 65 unlock. Player rank level 90 was unlocked as well. You got more ability points and more time. And this, for me, was probably the big problem that they did. I think it was too big a jump. They went from 3 minutes to 3 minutes 30. And personally, I think it should have gone to 3:15, not 3:30. But hey, and I think the increase of ability points was ridiculously too much as well. When I saw it, I was like, really? That's a lot of ability points to get back. But hey, I won't complain at the time. Uh, we've got Battle Zone 15, and then we've got Crime Zone as well. And we also had a zone rebalance, increased XP at all levels as well. And yeah, elimination mode came to the game. There was a lot of increases with HQ17, sorry. And I think we forget how much they put into it. It was crazy to see, and it was a really turning point for the game, I think, in terms of Zen, in terms of upgrades and difficulty as well. And there was a huge uproar of everyone saying it was too hard, like every other increase. But with time we caught up. Next we had Think Tank, and this was the introduction of combat bots. So this was March 2020, just last year, and combat bots have been a huge addition to the game and made a huge difference. And was the next thing to chase. And I like the reason behind it, that you can upgrade current bots. We didn't want to see 6-star bots, and this is the alternative basically. Having bots that add on to our current bots and things that add on to make them more powerful. So yeah, it was a real good thing to see. And the first ones are obviously Night Stalker, Ravage, Flak, and Crater Maker, Fireball, and Fire Drive. Why say Fireball? Fire Drive and Blowpipe, and Traxxon and Pterodactyl. Cool. And then obviously we're coming to a lot more recent, and then we're taking a look at data mining, and this was the introduction of Chromia and Felbat. These guys, I think, were the first time that playtesters really pushed the boundaries and said, let's really give it a go and really see where we can push these guys to. I think we failed a bit with Dinobot and Brainstorm and Nose Cone, and we were too careful, to be honest with you. And it was good that we pushed some boundaries. And when it came out, everyone said, "Oh, they're far too overpowered. They're gonna get nerfed," and they haven't since. And they've actually become some of the best defensive bots in the game. And even now, and yeah, you can find ways around them. They're not as dangerous as they were, but it was very cool to see. And then soon afterwards, we had Six Gun, and again, people were saying these bots are gonna get nerfed. They're far too powerful, and they haven't. So it just proves that you can sort of you can push boundaries in the game. You don't need to worry too much about bots. push them boundaries and make these bots a lot better. And I think we've got better as we've as we've come along. And then we've got Long Way Home, which was the introduction of HQ 17.5, which was a huge upgrade. And you've got to think that this was only uh, 9 months after the original HQ 17 upgrade. Only 9 months from HQ 17 to 17.5. So, December 2020, I can't see it being September 21 before we see 18. But I think that's when we'll see probably the next defensive upgrade. Whatever that is, I don't know. I think we need more cores, personally. I think that the current cores for defenses needs an upgrade. We've seen a few here and there, but I want to see a lot more. I don't think we need HQ 18. I don't think we need a HP increase and a DPS increase. We need some more ideas for cores. I would like to see shock towers become more relevant. Thunderstorms aren't what they are. Let's be honest. Thunderstorms, when they're used, can be hacked quite easily. So I'd like to see a new core for, shock towers. I'd like to see some different cores and better cores for turrets and cannons as well. I mean, well, to be fair, we have had high velocity, which was a great core. But I'd like to see something for turrets, something different. I'd also like to see something different for beam lasers because everyone uses Cybertron charge, everyone uses guided missiles and launchers. I'd like to see some different cores for them, to make them a bit more relevant. We've seen a lot of people using target protocol and using incendiary on mortars, so they're pretty good. But yeah, I would like to see more cores brought to the game this year. That's my my dream, so to speak. And then that pretty much brings us obviously to this year, to current day, and that's what we're going to sort of show in the newsletters. But yeah, looking back, to the game where we were getting 500, 400 5-star shards in an event, and we were getting 2-star shards, and there was no 5-star crystal. I remember when you got a 4-star dupe, you got 4-star shards. That was ridiculous, and it was one of the biggest, cryouts in the game that we needed something more than 4 stars. I don't think they ever planned to bring up 5 stars, or not at that time anyway. But and I actually remember that some people got gifted 5 stars, strangely enough, and they got them randomly, and they had to take them back, and that was a big, massive thing in the game. Everyone was like, "Yes, we're getting 5-star bots," and then the apes were like, "No, no, we'll never see 5 stars in the game. We won't see them." And literally, like 2 or 3 months later, here's 5-star bots. We knew it was coming, but some huge leaps in the game, absolutely huge. Um, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a treat. We're going to look at some of these old videos, and I wanted to look at Scrapnel because it was pretty cool to watch. So as we just fast forward it a bit, so we can see the gameplay here. So you can see there that there's been so many, increases, in the visuals. That just little things like the surrounds around the bots have got so much better, you know. And then I actually had a quick look at some of the old streams. They're cool to look back at. I mean, do you remember Adam? So yeah, we had Adam, and I actually didn't realize that Yanis was with the game this far back. This was August 2017. But Adam, I think, was the lead on this, and Yanis was, maybe the understudy or second in charge, whatever. But it's thanks to Yanis we've got the things we have today, and it's quite incredible how much has improved the game. And we'll sort of give a big shout out to him as well, because although I do criticize the apes a lot, they have done some really good things for the game. And then I also saw a screenshot and I thought, this is bizarre. I mean, how weird does this look to not have power cores and to not have combats, and it just looks empty. It's crazy, how poor the visuals are. And I forgot that we didn't have these. I remember these first coming up and thinking, what's that box for? And absolutely crazy. And I think remember Deb. Deb was is one of the main people in the stream we don't see anymore. Andrew, we used to see as well, and yeah, the streams have come a long, long way from what they used to be. They used to be quite maybe unorganized and a lot more, a lot more organized, definitely. definitely more organized. But yeah, some cool old content. I'd recommend it, guys. Just go sort of looking through these old videos and seeing how far the game's come. But yeah, it was a lot more fun back then and a bit more, they had a bit of a joke and a bit of a laugh, whereas they're a bit more serious nowadays and a bit more on point and it's a lot more relevant content. So yeah, pretty cool. And then I wanted to look at some of the old content creators, and one was JT. It's All Business. I don't know if you remember this guy. But yeah, he did a lot of Transformers Earth Wars content. He has a lot of subscribers. Doesn't do anything really that much anymore. But yeah, 70 million views. And this guy was the guy to watch in Transformers Earth Wars. He did so much content around pulling crystals, and he was one of the top players in the game, if not the top, maybe. He was in Always Hostile, which was one of the top alliances in the game, and I used to watch him a lot. And yeah, it was pretty cool to watch. And then I used to watch this guy, and this was the actual guy that I got into watching, and this is what sort of set me on the path to doing content. Really, I watched this guy who was Oasis Mass. I'm not too sure if you can see. He did a bit of content back in the day about Transformers Earth Wars. You can see there. Um, and when he attacked my base in a war, and I designed my own base, and he actually said, this guy's base is pretty good actually. He was a lot higher level than me, but he said, this guy's base is pretty good. And I was so like, wow, this guy's mentioned me in a stream and said that my base design is good. Wow, that's crazy. And I remember that feeling that I got when I got mentioned in that stream, and that's why I try and talk to people in my stream and mention names, especially at the start, and give call outs. And it was I think it's important for content creators to get to know the community and just give shout outs. And it was really cool, that he called me out in a stream, and I remember that. And it's important, like I said, that you remember, what you felt like when you wasn't a content creator and the things that mattered to you and the things that were important. And yeah, it was really cool that he did that. And he definitely sort of set me on the path to being a content creator. And then I used to watch this guy. If I can find him. No, it was a guy called Bearded Ghost. I can't find his channel now. And he was very good at base design and did some things around that. And yeah, I watched him quite a lot as well. And they were the old school Transformers Earth Wars content creators, along with Engineer Hoist, who was doing it a long time before I was. And yeah, they were the guys that I watched, and those are the guys that I looked to and thought, those are the guys I want to be like for different reasons. NJ Hoist I thought was very charismatic. When you can't not like Hoist. He's just a generally nice guy, and I know he's in the chat there. But he was a really nice guy, and I thought that's the kind of person I want to be in my streams, a nice guy and come across like that. But I also liked the fact JT did a lot of crystal openings and was quite high in the game, so I wanted to be a bit like JT as well. And then I also wanted to be a bit like Oasis Mass, who did war videos and did how to beat certain things and how to beat bases and I thought I'm gonna sort of do a bit of everything really. I'm gonna show people how to do certain things in the game, and yeah, and hence back to my channel and the first video I did, which was May 2017, so it's actually close to my 4 year anniversary. And I look back at the video now and I'm like, oh my days, like it was so poor. I literally sit here talking about base design for 17 minutes. I don't leave the screen for 17 minutes. And I know I like to waffle on, but wow, that's crazy. But yeah, I was in TF Mercenaries back in the day, and this was kind of the start of Ops without being the start of TF Ops. Because I remember talking to the leader of TF, which is Spar, and I said, listen, I struggle in events at weekends, and sometimes I can't keep up with them, but I want to go somewhere which is massively focused on wars.
And he said to me, that's not going to happen. Basically, people still care about events. I said, yeah, I do, but I want to be more war focused. I know I can do well in wars, but I do struggle in events. And then I actually left TF to go to Aussie Alliance, which was that they solely focused on war. That was their primary focus. And I went to Aussie Alliance, and that was a pretty cool place. I met a lot of good guys there, and we can see here I was in TF Core, which was a and this was my old intro. Wow, I remember this. God. I started putting borders around the game and things like that. Started doing war attacks. And TF Core was a mixture between some Spanish guys and some of the old TF guys. And it didn't really work. But yeah, it was my last alliance in TF before I left to go to Aussie Alliance. So yes, I went to Aussie Alliance. And you can see there that we do some war attacks. And this is back when replays worked, believe it or not. Yes, Engineer Hoist, Aussie Alliance. Yes. No, I'm not an Aussie before I get asked that. I think this was actually the start of where the Aussie sort of thing came from. Yes. Yes, Silverbolt, you are right. This is where the whole Aussie thing came from of Wozza being because my name was Wozza. I was in Aussie Alliance for a lot of Australians. Yeah, that's where it all came from. So yeah, it's a joke that even gets said today in the TF chats and still gets used. So yeah, I was in Aussie Alliance for about 9 months as well. And yeah, I did a lot of crystal openings back then, and I think that some of the big turning points was raids, the new game mode, the China video. I think those are sort of the big videos that sort of helped me along. And I think the big thing that really helped me the most was starting my streams. Do you remember these back last year? Um, when I was doing my live streams every single day of lockdown. Why did I agree to that? I'll be honest with you, when I started that, I thought, I'm going to do a stream every single day over lockdown. It'd probably be 40 days. I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. How wrong could I have been? I mean, what did I get up to? I don't even know. Day 40, day 57. And I think I wanted to get to 100. Day 75, you can see there. Day 80, day 94. And I think I got to around, I think it's around here, day 88 or 90. And I went back to work and I was like, I've got to finish this. I've got to get to 100. I can't not. And I was going to work, coming home, streaming at any time of the day. It was it was crazy. And yeah, and Hoist has put daily vids and streams are harder than you think. It really is because every day you've got to wake up and think, right, what am I going to talk about today? Obviously, Wednesdays and weekends are quite easy. You can just do a bit of gameplay, do a bit of raids, but every day you're thinking, what can I do now? What can I talk about today? And literally, I was coming on stream some days and going, what do you guys want to talk about? Because I ain't got a clue what to talk about anymore. And also, just when you're tired and when you're, ill, and things crop up where friends were saying, do you want to come out? I was like, I can't come out because I'm doing streams every day, and it was so hard, and then, we got to 100, and I was like, right, I'm done. That's it. We're going back to one a week. And then I sort of went, I do miss doing, some more streams. I started doing two a week. But yeah, that was the big one for me. Doing a stream every day really launched the channel last year and really helped me to get a lot more views. You can see there that we're getting sort of 1K views more consistently there. Omega Supreme was a big one as well that really helped me as well. So yeah, the channel's done well since then. And then we've obviously gone on to, you know, a month ago where we started doing the camera and really improving the streams, and we've started, doing some interviews. And like I said, we've done Dale, we've done Grind Time, we've done the rinsing your base designs that she's gonna get. That's coming again this weekend. So yeah, me and Grind Time are going to be rinsing some bases this weekend. So make sure you tune in for that. We've also got an interview with Powerblaz coming up. That's going to be really cool. That guy's incredible. The amount of stuff that he does for not only Earth Wars, but like I said, in Transformers in general, writes comic books, and a very cool guy. I talked to him quite a bit. He's also a playtester as well, and he's high up in Scorch. And we've touched base and talked about what we want to talk about. And we're going to be doing that interview in the next month, I'd say. And I don't mind saying it now that I've actually talked with Engineer Hoist, trying to get Engineer Hoist on my channel, and we've agreed that it'd be a cool thing to do. We've just got to sort out a time that suits both of us. So yeah, hopefully Engineer Hoist will be on my channel in the next couple of months. And I've also said that, I'd be glad to go on his sometime, maybe. It's up to him. But yeah, it'd be cool to have Engineer Hoist. And, I think we can get a different aspect from every single person. So we're going to be talking to Pabloblez, and we're going to talk about playtesting because he's in that chat with me. And we can talk about what we both think about it. And we can talk about his comics and writing. We've got Hoist on, so we can talk about, creating content and how difficult it is. I don't think people realize, and we can also talk about the game and things like that. And then I'm actually in talks as well of getting Hyro on my stream as well, like I said. So, getting Hyro on will be really cool. We can talk about the game economy, and hopefully after that we can get the other apes on. Maybe even Skywalk Grey. The possibilities are endless. We've got base rinsing every month or two. We've got the top 10 bots videos coming, so there's plenty of content coming, and that's not even including the general streams that we do here and there about random stuff that I just think up. I was thinking today. I was like, what could we do about today? There's not much happening in the game this week. It's pretty boring. We've got the base rinsing this weekend. And I was like, I don't think anyone ever has done like I know Engineer Horace has done like the past year, but I don't think anyone's ever looked back at how the game's changed way back when. And I'd like to probably visit it again, maybe even when the game shuts down in a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, and look back at now when we look back at that and thinking how much the game has changed in those few years. And yeah, and I'm gonna keep going. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not gonna lie. There was a point this week where I was ready to go, I'm done with the game. Basically, for those that are in my Discord know that I'm on a bit of a streak with the 300s against top 10 war bases. Now, there's a bug in the game for HQ 17.5 players where you'll be playing the game and all of a sudden the game just crashes. It goes straight back to your home screen on your tablet. And when you load the game up, the game is totally different than what you left. Sometimes it's to your advantage. Sometimes you might have died with 3 bots and you'll all of a sudden have 5, 6, 7 and half the defenses are gone. But in this instance, I sacrificed Goldie, I dropped my bots, and I had the combiner to be 1 outpost, a beam laser, and a cannon with 6 bots, 2 healers still alive. It was easy. I could have fast forwarded it basically. But the game crashed and it came back to another 4 or 5 defenses had come back, and I only had Blades. Blades was the only bot alive, and I was shocked to say the least. Quickly hit the hack button on the bots that I was attacking and that area because that's where the defenses was. And basically, Blades just died, and I lost the battle. And I lost it. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty livid at the fact that I've gone 25 300s in a row, and this was a guaranteed 300. It wasn't that. I don't want to belittle them, but it was, it was not a top alliance. When we're against the likes of, certain alliances. But yeah, I was literally ready for quitting. But I was lucky in a way because we only track top 10 wars, and the team we were against wasn't a top 10 war, and teams that we easily beat we don't track. And by towards halfway through the day, we realised that, we're going to win this very easily. And so the leaders said, we're not going to track this war, luckily. And so luckily the streak is still going. But for those few hours, I was livid. I went into the playtest chat and I was like, when are we going to fix this bug? It came about last year, they fixed it, it's coming back again. And it's a RAM issue, I know it is. And, it's quite easy for the apes to say, they haven't, don't get me wrong. They could easily say, your RAM's not big enough. My RAM on all my devices is 4 gig. If you start asking for more than 4 gig to run this game, you are alienating so many people. It is ridiculous. So you can't have it where 4 gig's not enough. Maybe in 2 or 3 years' time when 4 gig devices are a thing of the past, but, I get that, 2 gig devices can't run this game anymore. But 4 gig is not, ridiculously low. Most decent phones have 6 to 8 gig nowadays. But my S9 is only 2 years old and has 4 gig of RAM. That should be able to run this game extremely well. And yes, I've got a PC that runs it, and I know that it's an emulator, so it doesn't really work in that. But you know, Taylor's put, did you patch the hole in your wall your phone made? I was close. I'm not gonna lie, and I honestly think that if it wasn't for this channel, I'd have probably quit right then. I'd have probably gone, you know what, sack this. And I actually spent the whole day thinking, why do I even play this game? It's gotta be, it's gotta be that, it's gotta be, it's too easy as it is right now. I'm getting bored, and I might just quit. I'll be honest with you. And it came like when they said that, I was like, right, okay, we'll keep going. But it's this channel that keeps me going, and that's dead honest truth. It really is. And yes, Luke, I've actually got the record in my alliance at the minute, which is 25 300s in a row, which is crazy. I think the record before that was 10, and that was high. Don't forget, this is against top 10 opposition. And I've got 25, and I think there's someone right behind me with around 20, I think. I think after that, I think it's like 10 or 7 that the next one's got. So the two of us that are literally bang at it, and I know that if I drop a war, he'll take over me, you know. But I don't listen. If I lose because the game is too hard, I don't mind that. I get it. But I'm not gonna lose this streak and lose in the game because of a glitch that the apes have known about for like 6 months. And I don't want to get on their case too much. I understand glitches happen, but these things in the game that need fixing. You know, things like Prime Rush. Let's be honest, 5 years, 5 years, and Prime Rush isn't fixed. I mean, does it really take 5 years to fix a glitch? To fix something in the game? And this one replays. I mean, they've been broken for around 2 years now. And I get that the apes saying it's almost impossible to fix. Well, I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. I don't think of this game is so good, but it's just a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 glitches that are huge in the game that make a huge difference. They need to fix replays. They need to fix Prime Rush. They need to fix this glitch where the game crashes. They've got to fix those soon as possible. They are game breaking, and that is the kind of thing that's going to cause people to quit the game. That is the things that they need to fix. And I don't want to end this on the stream on a negative note. But I want to play this game for here until forever, and I want to see it get harder in some way at the top level. Whether that's making Prime League harder, whether it's making a different league, well, not a different league, but more making Prime League have an ultra mode, whatever. You should be able to play. I mean, the top guys are getting extremely bored very quickly. Where do you go from when you complete every single event and you 300 every war? Where is the end game? When the likes of Grind Time has got so many max spots. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he continues to carry on. I really don't, because once you've got every bot pretty much max and you can 300 every single base, which I can, but Grind Time can't. Sorry, but I can say that because I'm a friend. I can say that. But when you do that, don't get me wrong though, Grind Time does very well in wars, very well. But when you could do that, I don't know how Grind Time has the staying power to carry on when you've got so many max bots. I don't get how the psyops guys continue so much. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I know for a fact because in the last event, they were sort of struggling to finish the event, psyops, because they don't need to level any bots. When you've got a team that can 300 war, why do you need to level bots anymore? Why do you need to spend? And when it gets to a point where the top players stop spending, then it's a problem. But I do see a lot of lower level players spending more on the Cup Lagooning. So in a way, it's a good thing that the top guys are stagnated a bit and the lower guys are slowly catching up. It's a good thing. Don't get me wrong, but it can't last forever. You can't have it where all of a sudden you're leaving them stagnant for them to catch up, because those that are there will just fade from the game. They'll just stop playing the game. So we need something for the top players to get more interested. And that's why I've said in the past that we need some new war things. I don't know. But that's why I think that this will come this year. I think we'll see new defense upgrades come in the future. I think we'll see something new with wars that Yanis said he was going to look at after, after such as the 5-star Omega Supreme event, after Computron. There's so much come to the game recently that I think the next big thing we'll be looking at wars and how they improve them. And then I think we'll honestly see HQ 18. I think next year. It depends on how well the new defense or war thing works. If it works really well, HQ 18 will push back. If it doesn't work, HQ 18 will push forwards. And I think we'll see HQ 18 in 10, 11 months from now. I can see Sharks put he'd like to see another game mode. And I think that's what I just want to talk about as well. The fact that I don't think raids have succeeded. I don't think raids have been the success that they should have been. Zen farming won't go away because it's needed for Zen, and I get that why the eights have put that in there. But if they add in something else on top of that, it's too much. You can't have resources for raids. You can't have raids, resource farming, raids, Zen, and then events. You can't have all that during a week. It's too much. This is why I would literally just like to have a um oh, I forgot the name now. What Fortnite has, where you log in every day, you buy it, and you log in every day. Oh my god, I've gone blank. You log in every day, you buy it. It's like $5 or $10. A battle pass. A battle pass. So yeah, they need a battle pass in the game. So yeah, thanks, Grind Time. Uh, they need a battle pass in the game because that encourages you to do more. So the battle pass might have do be a Zen farming base with just gunners. So then you're like, well, okay, I normally do Zen farm with these bots, but I'm going to use a gunner instead. You know, be be a war base using no gunners. Oh well, I've got my team's this. I'm gonna wait for a certain base and then maybe use a different team, and it just opens it up for more rewards for people. It opens up a new revenue for the apes and just something to do midweek without actually adding in a new game mode. Yeah, Hammer Tail it is in China. It is. The China one's not that good though, and it's a bit extensive. But they should have something like that. And it actually, if they had it where you have to compete in raids though, sometimes you don't get the chance. In my alliance, they're done within 4 or 5 hours, and a lot of people don't like raids. They do it from necessity, not because they enjoy it. So I would like raids, and I think the problem with raids is the rewards. 2,000 Shaniks, okay, you get Shaniks. But once you've got Monkey Prime, what are you going to use them Shaniks for? No one bothers with it. Like Zen, I don't enjoy Zen farming, but I don't actually mind the rewards too much. The rewards are pretty decent. So, Zen farming I prefer to raids, but you get more XP in raids. But the problem with raids is they're not only boring, but the rewards are poor. They need to improve the rewards, and not just Shaniks, but do something else. Have something else for raids. Another source of, you know, rewarding players. And then also add a battle pass, and that's what I'd like to see. I mean, a good point is that they've done the starter bundle, and yes, it was a one-off. We're not going to see that again, but the starter bundle was incredible, and I mean, who didn't buy the starter bundle, or who's not? I'd like to know in the chat who's either not bought it or not going to buy it. I don't think there'll be many people because I think a lot of people bought that the starter bundle because of how good it is. And it just shows that if something is introduced at the right price, people go crazy for it. And if they bring in a battle pass at the right price and it's got some good rewards for playing the game, it increases activity. It gives people more reasons to play the game. I could see there that I've not seen a single person yet say they haven't bought it or not going to. And it's crazy value. And yeah, we're not going to see that. Don't get me wrong. But I think we'll see a battle. I'd hope we'll see a battle pass. That's my big thing at the minute that I'm going to start pushing to the apes. And so if you do see it, you know where it came from. I do sort of push these things and try and get. I mean, I was pushing for all bots to get revamped, and I think that's where it started with the Warrior rework. And I'm not sitting there saying it's all me because I've suggested 10 things and they may pick one out of those. But for me, as a playtester, that's what I like to do. I like to push things that I see wrong in the game and additions to the game that I think would be good. And a battle pass is the big one for me, and Black Friday deals. That's the next big thing that I'm going to be getting on as well. Black Friday deals. I mentioned it's a hero as well, that we need to improve them Black Friday deals because they're not good enough. They're not deals, they're not sales. We need more value for our money. Definitely on them Black Friday deals. So better Black Friday deals and a battle pass. Hopefully coming this year. That's the big deal. That's the big dream that we've got. But yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. And yes, on Sunday, me and Grey Time will be rinsing your bases. So if you've not put your base into the Discord channel of base rinsing, then yeah, make sure you put it in there. I'll be picking those out this weekend, ready for the stream. Grey Time or Grind Time, whatever we call him. Or even Grinch Time. Yeah, you pick. But yeah, he don't get to see them in advance. I sort of spring them on him. So but yeah, you can see them in the channel, I suppose. So yeah. But yeah, we're picking those out this week. And don't forget that if you do get chosen for the stream, not everyone will get a crystal, but if you get rinsed the hardest, and me and Grind Time will decide these, if you get rinsed the hardest, you'll get a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal. If you get, if your base is unique, but still, not just unique where you just put it all together and go, hey, that's unique. No, unique but useful, something that we haven't seen before. Then yeah, you'll get a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal as well. And if your base is one of the best bases, you'll get a Sunstreaker Wozza stash crystal as well. So we'll be giving out some crystals live on stream on Sunday, and yeah, you'll get the chance to be shouted out on the stream as well. So yeah, make sure you join Discord and make sure you put your base in the base rinsing section. And on cue, thank you, Silverbolt, has posted the link. So make sure you hit that link, guys, and join my Discord as well. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, guys, only like 30% of people that watch my channel are actually subscribed. So just make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. It means a lot. And, it doesn't cost a single penny. All it does is let you know when I'm streaming so you can tune in. So all those people that have come in and gone, oh my God, I was late. Is that because you're not subscribed? Maybe it is. Maybe you should think about subscribing. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Don't forget to drop a like on the video before you leave. And come and join Discord and put your base in the base rinsing section. Cool. All right, guys. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we will see you on Sunday. Thanks for watching and peace out, guys.